Hey, how y'all doing today? I'm Anthony. You're watching Palmetto Prepared, and today I wanted to give a little bit of a story time about the one and only time I've ever actually had to pull my concealed carry weapon. I'm going to paint the picture, that way y'all can kind of be there. That's why I'm standing in front of my truck, so you can have an exact idea of what I was going through at this point in time. Now, this was about 3.5 years ago. I was working nights at CarMax at the time. As production, so we had two different shifts. First shift, second shift got off at midnight. However, this particular night we got off at 1 a.m. because it was overtime. Now, because it was overtime, 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't care what city you're in, there's a lot of things are going to be shut down. Well, I got off work to go home. As I was on my way home, I realized that I didn't have any gas, and I lived 45 minutes away from work at the time, so I wanted to fill up with gas before I jumped on the interstate. Now, my workplace was right off the interstate, no big deal, and I had to pass by 3 gas stations to get to the interstate, so I said, okay, I'll just fill up at one of these. Now, at this particular area, one gas station was closed, the other one is next to a seedy hotel motel at the time, which has been since torn down, but that hotel has a lot of, crackhead, druggy activity, so I didn't want to go there, so I went to the only other gas station that's on the other side of the interstate that's pretty well lit, open, no big deal. Now, when I pulled up in this gas station, I was the only one there. No big deal. Pulled up, I had, 8 pumps. I pulled up to this one on this side. No big deal. Started to fill up with gas. Now, obviously, on the driver's side of my vehicle, this is where my gas tank is, so that's what I was filling up, which is facing towards the road. No big deal. As I'm filling my tank up, I noticed 2 vehicles coming in the parking lot, I'm assuming to fill up with gas too. There was a Dodge Charger and a Pontiac G6. Again, you should always have situational awareness, especially when you are in a situation where you might find yourself to be in trouble. So you always want to pay attention to everything. And I'm sorry if you can hear the cicadas, it's that time of year. Anyway, I'm filling up with gas, these cars pull in, but they go to the other side of the parking lot and they're just in there talking. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. But I'm keeping an eye on them. As I finish filling my tank up, I get my receipt, close up my gas tank, close the door. The minute I close the little door on my gas door, the Charger pulls up behind my truck. So, as I'm opening my driver's door, so I open my driver's door, he pulls up and he says to me, "Hey man, how you doing tonight?" So I'm being in the South, trying to be courteous. I mean, he might need help or whatever. I was like, okay, I'm doing all right. How are you doing? And he said back to me, and I apologize for the vulgarity. He said, "I'm good, but I'll be better if you give me your fucking wallet. Or you give me your effing wallet." So this kind of caught me off guard. I'm standing like this, and I look over at him. I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "You heard me, mother effer. Give me your effing wallet." Insert racial slur. So I have my door open at this time. I'm looking at him. And I said, "Go fuck yourself." Right to his face. And right as I said, "Go F yourself," I noticed out of my peripheral that the G6 was parked in front of my truck, essentially blocking me in. Now, because I was blocked in here and blocked in here, I had nowhere to go. Now, the state of South Carolina, you always want to try to flee if you can before you use your concealed carry, but now I'm boxed in. There's no way I can flee. I'm disabled. I can't run. Can't get out of the situation. So that's basically green light in my head, in my thought process. If I have to use my weapon, I'm going to use it. And no sooner than 3 seconds after I said, "Go F yourself," the passenger door flew open. As the passenger door flew open, I immediately came up and initiated my draw. I got to right about here when all of a sudden the door was still open. He punched the throttle and burned out all the way to the side road out in the middle of the road. The G6 did the exact same thing. So there was 2 burnouts at the exact same time because they saw that I had a weapon. Door is still open, by the way. The passenger door is still open as he's driving off. So at this point, they're gone. Adrenaline's starting to dump, and I'm still sitting here with my pistol, like processing what exactly just happened as I'm looking around just to make sure that, someone else didn't get out of the vehicle and they drop someone off and they're going to attack me. So I'm just kind of looking at my surroundings. The girl that worked at the gas station ran outside with the portable phone for the business, and she said, "I'm going to call the police." I said, "There's no point now. They're gone." I was like, "Are the cameras over here or something?" She said, "No, the only camera's pointing at the door." I said, "There's no point in calling the cops now. They're gone." And she came up to me. She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine, but I didn't really want to have to shoot anybody, but I almost did." Now, the reason why I didn't, you have to understand, if you're going to pull your weapon, you better be, darn ready to use it. And I was. That split second, I was going to use it. I was going to shoot whoever came out of that car coming at me. I was boxed in a high stress situation. I was legitimately going to shoot whoever did come out of that passenger side door, because they can tell you all day. He says hello. They can tell you all day how to process one attacker, but when you're surrounded, boxed in by multiple attackers, this is why having a pistol or having a weapon really pays off. Because yeah, I'm a 6'4", 240-pound man. One-on-one, yeah, I'm sure I could probably take you, but I can't take 3, 4, 5, 6 people. I can't. That's why you have a weapon. That's why you carry a weapon. And I'll pause it till he stops. All right, so that's why weapons, pistols, concealed carry, that kind of thing, it's known as the great equalizer. Because yes, I'm a 6'4", 240-pound man. Imagine if I was a 150-pound woman, or someone who was not prepared for the situation. They would easily been either kidnapped, robbed. Who knows the horrible things that could have happened. Now, after all that happened, I told the girl she'd go back inside, just keep an eye out for people like that. She's behind like a big bulletproof glass window, I guess, at nighttime. I never gone inside there, but that's what she told me. She said weird people come all the time. Kind of awkward, kind of a weird thing to happen. You don't think your area is that bad until you see that kind of stuff. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave now. So I got back in my truck and drove off. Now, about a day later, I talked to one of my friends who happens to be a deputy with the police. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, obviously we can't do anything about it now, but does this happen often?" I explained to my situation. He said, "You wouldn't be surprised how many people come from out of state area." Because I forgot to mention the license plates were North Carolina plates. And it was right off the interstate. So he said, "You wouldn't believe how many times people would come driving through at whatever odd period of time and just find somebody by themselves at an area and intimidate them, gang up on them, that kind of thing, to rob them. How often that happens." I said, "That's kind of it's kind of ridiculous, but it makes sense. You're a victim, you're by yourself. It's an easy target, basically. And by having my weapon, it scared them off, and they didn't do anything." So, since being, I'm a Marine, obviously I like to process and think about all the crazy things that could have happened and, replay the situation in my head. What could I have done differently? I wanted to at least share that with y'all so we could be on the same page in terms of why we do what we do and at least explain the risk assessment. Now, was it risky to fill up with gas at 1 a.m.? 1 a.m.? Absolutely. And that's one thing I will never do again if I can. I will always make sure. That's why I've since instituted filling up with gas at half a tank all the time. Just in case that happens, I don't have to worry about stopping. So definitely don't get gas in the morning if you don't have to, like early in the morning or by yourself. If you're the only one at the gas station, obviously make sure you keep your head on a swivel. Situational awareness is very important. If I wasn't making sure that my situation, or if I wasn't looking around, then I could be in a really bad spot. So because I was paying attention and realizing where everything kind of was, I was able to understand that I was under threat. And and obviously another thing is make sure you always carry a weapon. If you have a CWP or concealed weapons permit, concealed carry permit, whatever your state calls it, use it, carry, because something as simple as a 5-minute fill up at a gas station and you don't have your weapon on you, it could have been very bad. That means don't leave it in your car, don't leave it locked up or whatever, have it on you, just in case. It's a good thing when I got off work, because we couldn't carry our weapons inside, it's a good thing when I got off work, a minute before I even left the gas station, I put my pistol on my hip. Again, just in case. And it saved me that time. So I've told this story to a few family members, a few of my close friends, and they, they're like, "Oh, wow, it's a good thing you're carrying," that kind of thing. And it actually encouraged a few people to go get their permits themselves. And I wanted to at least put this out there for y'all so you can see why I did it. So maybe it'll help y'all either carry more often, get your permit, or that kind of thing. Just be mindful of your surroundings. I hope this story helped you. I hope that you never get put in this situation. I hope I never get put in that situation again, but life's not fair. Things happen. You always want to make sure you're at least prepared for something like that to happen. You don't want to be a victim. You want to make sure that whoever's trying to attack you will think twice, like you're the porcupine kind of thing. So with that being said, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'll catch y'all later, okay? Bye.